We'll turn to the world's latest business stories now, and we're going to start in Argentina, where the government may have found a way to slow down the devaluation of its currency. Our business editor, Charles Pellegrin, is here to tell us more. Hi, Charles.
Morning, Erin. The Argentine peso started its slide against the U.S. dollar last week. The government actually accused the country's right-wing opposition of fueling the erosion of the peso by speculating against it. It has opened an investigation. Let's have a look at that slide of the peso, especially since the turn of the year. As you can see here, the official rate is currently over 220 pesos for a dollar, and almost double that on the parallel blue market here in orange. As you can see, the parallel blue market isn't subject to the state's currency controls, and you can see the huge change in devaluation at the turn of the year in 2023 with that spike in the value of the peso against the dollar. The government has said it would use all tools at its disposal to slow or even stop this devaluation. And this Wednesday, Economy Minister Sergio Massa met with China's ambassador Zhou Xiaoli in Buenos Aires, saying Argentina will pay for Chinese imports in Yuan worth $1 billion starting next month. This is meant to preserve the country's foreign reserves and reduce demand for dollars. China accounts for 21% of all of Argentina's imports in 2021, its biggest supplier of imported goods.
It allows us to maintain the level of activity, maintain the volume of imports, maintain the rhythm of trade between Argentina and China, and maintain the levels of economic functioning that Argentina needs.
In the United States, House Republicans voted in favor of a bill that would raise the federal government's debt ceiling in exchange for spending cuts and a rollback of some of President Joe Biden's signature policies. The bill won't be able to pass in the Democrat-controlled Senate, but is meant to kickstart talks with President Joe Biden, who has so far demanded to raise the debt limit without any conditions. Leo McGuinn has the details.
Bill is passed.
A Republican bill to raise the debt ceiling was passed in the House of Representatives by just 2 votes on Wednesday, but it will require major concessions from President Biden to become law and to avoid a federal government default. The Republican goal: to draw the president to the negotiating table.
We passed this early. We are in April, way ahead of the debt limit. We are the only party to take fiscal action in a sound mind that would lift the debt limit so we wouldn't have economic damage. We've also put us back on a path to end the Washington wasteful spending and to grow our economy and make us stronger.
The proposed bill, officially known as the Limit Save Grow Act of 2023, would raise the debt limit into March next year and cap spending at 2022 levels for 10 years, a 14% cut. It would also make major cuts or put restrictions into place for social safety net programs. Democrats argue that the bill would force working-class families to bear the burden of tax cuts for the wealthiest. The debt ceiling, or limit, is a cap on the total amount of money that the federal government is authorized to borrow. That limit was reached in January. Since then, the Treasury Department have been using extraordinary measures to continue paying the government's obligations. It is thought that the date when bills would no longer be able to be paid could be as early as June.
Moving on now, French energy giant TotalEnergies posted net income of $6.5 billion in the first quarter of the year, down from its exceptional $9 billion figure at the same time last year. The decline can be attributed to the fall in oil prices. Total will also be selling its Canadian operations, which include 2 oil sands projects, to Suncor Energy for more than $4 billion. Let's finish by taking a look at how the markets are doing this hour. The European markets have opened lower, with investors still concerned about jitters in the banking sector and what's happening at First Republic Bank in the United States. The Paris CAC down almost 0.2%, the DAX in Frankfurt down almost 0.5%, and the FTSE in London down just over 0.1%. The shares trading mostly higher in Asia. Investors there looking at Kazuo Ueda's first policy meeting as Bank of Japan governor. The Nikkei in Tokyo finishing the session up over 0.1%. The Shanghai Composite currently trading over 2/3%, actually, closing the session over 2/3%. And then that wraps it up for the business news, Aaron.
Charles Pellegrin, thank you very much.